Today, we're diving into artificial intelligence, but we're going to flip the script a little bit. We're not talking about dystopian futures or how many jobs will be lost. No, instead, we're going to use AI as a lens to look at something much more intimate. We're going to talk about us.
So let's just jump right in with this question from the philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti. And get this, he asked this decades before anyone was even thinking about things like ChatGPT. And yet it just cuts right to the absolute heart of our whole situation with AI today. You see, Krishnamurti's work points to this really powerful idea, that the biggest deal about AI isn't what it can do out there in the world, but what it shows us about ourselves in here. Specifically, how mechanical and, how predictable our own thinking really is.
So let's start right there. Section 1, the machine in the mirror.
Okay, so here's the radical idea. Krishnamurti's great concern wasn't that machines would one day think like humans. It was that we have been training ourselves to think like machines for thousands of years. So this means AI isn't some brand new crisis. It's just making an ancient, internal one completely impossible for us to ignore anymore.
Section 2, anatomy of a programmed mind. Okay, so if our minds are already running a program, how exactly does that programming even work? What's the code? Well, Krishnamurti broke our mental process down into this really simple, almost mechanical chain. Something happens, that's an experience. That experience gets stored away as knowledge, which becomes memory. Then, when something new happens, our brain just reacts with a thought, which is really just a response from that old memory. We're basically meeting the living present with the dead hand of the past. And this whole system, all of it together, creates what Krishnamurti called the known. You can kind of think of it like the collective hard drive of humanity's past. All our experiences, our traditions, our biases, all of it stored in our brains as conditioning. Now, to be clear, using memory for practical stuff, like riding a bike or speaking a language, that's totally essential. The real problem, the catastrophe, as he called it, happens when we use that exact same mechanical process to build our psychological identity, our sense of me. That, he said, is the root of all our conflict.
And this is where it gets even crazier. He said our conditioning, our programming, it isn't actually personal. The stuff inside our heads, our fears, our beliefs, our nationalism, it's all a shared inheritance from the rest of humanity. So when you look deep into your own mind, you are literally looking at the world.
Section 3, AI, the ultimate machine. Okay, now let's see how this inner program we all run basically gave us the blueprint for the machines on our screens.
I mean, think about it. An AI like ChatGPT is trained on this insane amount of data from the internet. In Krishnamurti's terms, this is the perfect technological version of the known. It's a machine built entirely from secondhand information. It's like a digital fossil record of everything we as a species have ever said or written down.
And right here, this is the fundamental difference. AI runs on prediction. It just calculates the most statistically likely next word based on everything that came before it. It literally cannot have a fresh, new insight. That requires perception, a direct, unfiltered contact with the present moment. And that's only possible for a mind that's quiet and free from the constant chatter of memory.
So maybe we've been calling it the wrong thing this whole time. Maybe it's not artificial intelligence at all. It's really artificial thought. It's not some new kind of mind. It's just the perfect externalized version of the same mechanical process we've been running inside our own heads for centuries.
And this brings us to a very different kind of danger. Section 4, the seduction of certainty.
So what is the real danger here? If we follow this line of thinking, it's not that AI will conquer us by force, like in the movies. It's that it will seduce us. The real threat isn't physical control, it's psychological surrender. Just think about how perfectly AI meets our deepest psychological cravings. We crave authority, boom, we get a digital guru that has all the answers. We crave security, we get the illusion of being understood without any of the risks of real connection. We want to escape our own inner chaos? Well, here is the ultimate distraction. And this completely flips the script on the whole AI bias conversation. It's not just some technical bug that we need to patch. When an AI shows prejudice, it is holding up a perfect, unfiltered mirror to the flawed collective programming it learned directly from us. It's not a flaw in the machine. It's a feature of our own minds. So, all of this leaves us at a massive crossroads.
Section 5. Humanity's Existential Choice.
It seems like there are two very different paths in front of us. Path 1 is atrophy. We just outsource all our thinking, we sink into entertainment, our brains get lazy and begin to wither, and we become, well, more trivial than the things we created. But then there's Path 2, discovery. We can use this very moment to turn inward and start exploring a totally different kind of intelligence, the kind that lies beyond mechanical thought.
And really, the whole thing boils down to this fundamental conflict. On one side, you have algorithmic decision-making. That's how AI works, and honestly, it's how our conditioned minds work too, always stuck in the past, always calculating. But on the other side, you have what Krishnamurti called choiceless awareness, a state of just pure observation, right here in the present moment, that allows for real insight, real freedom.
So, we end here. The machine is perfecting the process of thought. It can now do the very thing that we as a species have valued above all else for millennia. And that forces us to face what might be the most urgent question of our time. What are we, and what is left for us to discover beyond thought?